Welcome back to Banished Souls. This is your Captain Cryptic Gaming. I hope you've been having a wonderful week. I hope you're looking forward to Season 2 like I am. We're going over this new patch note that they have given. And let me tell you, there is a lot of stuff in here. So let's do a breakdown. Today we're going to be talking about what are these upgrades that we're going to have on our ships. How many are there? How do we obtain the parts to get those upgrades done? Is it something that just comes at the end of the season by how many manufacturers and territories that you have? Or is there a way to earn that? And there is. We're going to go over that too. We're looking at the different armor variants that they have. It looks like 5 new armors that you're going to be able to get, a ton of furniture, and a lot of really nice weapons. So let's break into it. We're going to throw some pop-up up here for you to see what we're talking about. Coming into it, seasonal content, the Chorus of Havoc. That is Season 2, Chorus of Havoc. We're going to be taking on the Hubok twins. So you're going to be able to find seasonal contracts through Yanita. That is the Yanita Yara. That's part of the black market, over at the helm. You want to make sure that you talk to her to get these contracts. But also Blackwood, William Blackwood, is going to be in the game still, giving out those contracts. So episode 1 is called The Pirate's Lament. That is going to be, if I have to guess, it's probably going to be a week or two, just like it was in the other one. Here's some of the rewards we're going to get from that. We're going to be looking at the Mine Spring Loader 1, a new furniture called the Spring Loader Furnace, and the Spring Loader Powder House. So those are going to be great to get those. The Spring Loader, we're going to be digging into these weapons, folks. So just bear with us. We're going to try to throw you some pop-ups so you know what that stuff's going to look like. We're going to have new contracts that are going to be placed on Armand Hubok and Bertrand Hubok. Those are the Hubok twins, in case you're wondering. And of course, a new elite warship called the Soleil Royale. That's going to be pretty cool to be able to fight those. And of course, we've got an episode 2 going to be called Rebellion Symphony, episode 3 Shadow Sonata, episode 4 The Pirate's Overture. We are going to be looking at the new ship. This is the Brig, not to be mistaken with the Brigantine. It is the Brig, so this is going to be pretty awesome to see this. Post this up here for you. It says it's going to be fast, agile. This support ship excels at deploying minefields and repair buoys using new spring loader weapons, available free from completing the Smuggler's past challenges. So what is that? That's talked about when you talk to Blackwood, just as you did in the past. He gives you some contracts that you got to run. The same with Anita. She'll give you some contracts you got to run. You're going to pick rewards up in that stuff, but you're going to earn them through the past, just as we did this past season that we had here. Let's bring this over to show you what the past looks like so you're aware. We're going to have, I'm assuming they're going to keep it Quartermaster, Gunmaster, Shipmaster. You're going to have where the new ship's going to be located. Probably, my guess is under the Shipmaster, your weapons under Gunmaster, and then of course furnitures and stuff are going to be under Quartermaster as well. You're going to have some contracts and stuff like that. There's going to be some new helm materials instead of the eels twine and things that we're going to have to open up. We're going to earn as well. So those are going to be pretty cool. Do not, I'm going to repeat this before we go any further, do not sell off your skull products. Your gold skull, you want to make sure you got plenty of that. Your white skull, make sure you got plenty of that. The black opium, you want to make sure you keep that. Keep the blue lotus opium also. Keep that silver stuff and that black stuff. The reason why is you're going to be buying stuff from Skurlock and Rama again. That's going to be some really cool stuff. That is where you're going to find the parts, the upgrade parts. You're going to be able to buy it from them. So yes, there is still a reason that you should be grinding up those raw materials, keeping that stuff flowing, keeping that money coming in, keeping that currency to buy those new upgrade parts, because you're looking at needing silver, you're looking at needing certain types of materials, and then you're going to, of course, going to need some 8s and those upgrade parts to bring your ships up. There are 6 levels per ship. They are going to be doctoring every ship type in the game. We'll post that up for you here in the video as well. But there's a lot of really good stuff. So we're going to be completing, obviously, Smuggler Pass. You're going to be looking at the challenges. You're going to be able to open up some various things in here as well. Within that, you're going to have opportunities when you're fighting the new Megalodons, as they're calling them. They are actually going to be called let's see what the sea monster is called now. They are going to be removing the green sea monster to begin with and replacing him with the Lestari. Okay, that is Kamaharabu is getting removed to put the Lestari in. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not coming back. They're going to be rotating all of these epic sea monsters throughout the past throughout this season. So we're going to get a chance to continue to fight our favorites and fight some new stuff too. So that's going to be pretty awesome as well. And then of course the Mega Listari, which would be like the Zamaharabu, which is the bigger version of the green monster up the top now. You're going to be able to see that. You're going to pick those up. Let's go to our map. You're going to pick those sea monster things up. You're going to be going to the nature to talk to the huntsman people over here. They're going to give you a contract that's going to place him somewhere up. You know, my guess is probably in the Western Basin again, but it's going to be where you pick that contract up. And then of course you'll pick the actual contract up down here in the bounty board when they do release the Mega Listari. So sounds like it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks before he actually enters into season 2. So we will be facing off against some sort of a shark up in this vicinity here. So that's going to be pretty cool, I think. Now, this is just a basic overview before we jump into a lot of stuff. So something else, they're having the Dragons Regatta event. For those who don't know what that is, that's going to be available from the 28th of May through the 18th of June. I do suggest that you participate. If you're like me, you're not really into racing and all that kind of stuff. Hey man, whatever. You can team up with your team and swap out who does what, because there's going to be some materials you need to grind out of that. There's something called a regatta token. You're going to get contract objectives seeking out to complete the races. These races are going to be taking place. See, weeks 1, 2, and 3 is the St. Anne shipwright. That's the location you pick it up, and you're going to have to run through. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different contract objectives. Most of them require you to run it 3 times. It does not say anything about winning, but that's going to get you regatta tokens. I'm going to screenshot this so we can throw this into video for you folks so you can see exactly what we're looking at here. It does great to tell you, but it's even better if we can show you, I think. So that's a perfect shot there. What you're going to be doing in that is racing an official boat. You're not using your own boat. You're using an official boat or a floating buoy, and you interact with them to start the race. Once the timer starts, checkpoints will be marked to complete the race. Meet all the checkpoints in order before the timer runs out. That means you don't get to miss one and then come back and hit it. You got to hit them in order. That's going to complete the race. Within those race routes, players can activate speed boosters, stamina boosters that will appear throughout the course. Your best time will be recorded, and players who have competed on all 3 races will be ranked on the Dragons Regatta leaderboard based on their best time at the time of this limited event. The top 100 players will be awarded the Golden Lemur pet. Doesn't say that it's got any kind of extra perks it adds to the ship, but it is a new pet that you can open there as well. Pretty awesome. You're going to earn regatta tokens and regatta chests. It's going to have pieces of 8 new food items, rice dumplings, materials, and chances for a new epic furniture, a piece called the Secret Cache. They haven't talked about what it is yet. My guess is it's going to expand your ship, and what you can hold is my guess, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And then it says your players can use their tokens to exchange for regatta ship and captain vanity sets. So, my guess is it's vanity sets for your ship. It doesn't sound like it's an actual ship, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Like I said, your shipwright, you're going to be taking your ship upgrade tokens over there, and we'll post that up where you're going to get that. So the upgrade parts, captains can obtain upgrade parts from completing seasonal boss bounties at the new main contacts. So or new main contracts, that's going to be Blackwood. You need it going over to the actual bounty boards, picking those up, be main bosses that they're releasing. So that's going to give you some of those. You're going to be able to trade with Skurlock and Rama to obtain those upgrade parts. Now, I don't know if those upgrade parts are specific to certain types of upgrades or if it's a universal part that you can use in any upgrade. They have not mentioned that. I do know when it comes to the leases that you will be earning as you run through some of these contracts and stuff, some of them may be faction lease only, some of them may be open to pick and choose whatever you want, and then the others will have specifics as well. So you got to kind of keep an eye on that, exactly what it's going to be for what isle it is, what faction it is. So like over here you have the Sea People and your Farah clan and stuff like that, and then over here you got some different campaigning and stuff, and of course you have your DMC and your other clans up in this area too. So just got to keep an eye and see what those are going to look like, man. It's going to be epic, I do believe. Definitely something I'm looking forward to. Now, of course, the fleet management system, one of the things that is going to be bringing is you can delete ships that you do not need. If you have small ships you don't want anymore, you can delete them and get rid of them. I recommend keeping at least one of some sort of a small hull ship, not the Dow. That's a very small ship. You're going to want something because those are going to come into play later, I'm sure. And of course, our fleet contracts or our fleet maintenance here, where you're going to be able to assign a fleet for pickup. So what I have in mind for that, and it may not work, but I'm going to share it with you folks. I get tired of having to pass up through these little tributaries for just a couple of little spots. Of course, in Africa, you have more along those main tributaries, but you do have these that are sort of kind of out of the way of any fast travel point. You're going to be able to fast travel carrying 8s in Season 2, so that's going to be great. Then, of course, you have these up here most people don't even bother picking up and even bother capturing because they just don't feel like going through the tributaries. Those are the ones I would send fleet management for first, and just pick up the outside of the areas. That's going to reduce how many 8s you got to get. It's going to make it a lot quicker. If you want to do an entire aisle that's auto collecting, that's cool too, man. I think there's a lot of ways we can do this stuff, and it's obviously going to be custom to whatever it is that you want to do in your gameplay. So now, without further ado, let's discuss the armor types and the weapon types that we're going to be looking at here, folks, and how to obtain those. So it shows 5 new armors here. We have the Buccaneer's Death. We have the Rhapsodies of the Deep. The Leviathan, that is going to be a custom build that you have to get the mats, and then I'm guessing you're going to have to get 50 or whatever the special item is going to be again, just as we did back with the Kamaharabu. We had about a week or two to grind them teeth. I think we needed 50 to get the blueprint, so I'm guessing it's going to be something similar to that to get a blueprint for that Leviathan armor. And then, of course, when the actual Mega shows up, we're going to be able to come in and get whatever that final aspect is to build that Leviathan armor. So that looks like it's going to be some really good armor from what it looks like. And then, of course, we have the Stormwoven Sympathy and the Abysmal. You may be wondering, what is the difference between all of this stuff? Well, let's use one of them here. Obviously, we'll have to wait for all the information released, but you have Stormwoven Symphony with new armor perk called Crescendo. Holding the brace charges up a sonic attack that damages surrounding enemies. That will be available from the black market. So, hope you've been doing like I have, playing the Sovereign game, trying to pick your 8s throughout the day, throughout the week, to be able to get that Sovereign bonus. Now, where it used to do 250 twice, it's doing 230 now at the beginning and then 30 at the end of the week. Unfortunately, it looks like they've lowered it. They didn't remove it. So that tells you that it was something in game that people could do that most folks were overlooking. So we're going to be watching for things like that in Season 2 as well. Playing within that board when you get into your diamond rank or whatever new rank they're going to call it. We will be getting a captain outfit for the diamond rank for Season 1, so that's something to keep in mind. That's going to be nice to have. You may be wondering, why am I filling up all of my stuff? Well, I'm going to get as many 8s as I possibly can. I'm getting anything and everything I can get in this game before Season 2 comes out, because if I don't need it, that's fine. I've got it. If I need it and I don't have it, then obviously then we have an issue, so we want to make sure that we keep this thing running very nicely on that. So, the Abysmal, as the last piece of armor on there, I am looking at the Buccaneer's Oath and the Abysmal are available from the black market straight off the bat. Of course, the Stormwoven Symphony with Crescendo is available in the black market as well. Leviathan is available as a reward from the Lestari bounty. So when you pick up the Lestari bounty, you know how we had Royal Custodian dropping? It sounds like you're going to maybe be able to drop something like that as well. But there's also materials that's going to be some kind of an armor plating as well that goes onto the side of the ship that you're going to have to build using whatever those materials are that those new monsters are dropping. So, and it may end up actually, I would not be surprised if it ends up requiring some of the scale from Zamaharabu. The reason I say that, and again, this is a guess, when you look at the armor and the color phase, the red and white, just like Zamaharabu, just like Ouroboros, I'm betting you're going to need multiples. That's why I said make sure that you're carrying some teeth and some scales into it, because you don't want to have to be waiting for that. So we're going to probably, the next few days, be hitting the Zamaharabu again, and of course going up into the Roadman Goat and stuff as well. Now, if you have plenty of that, you have plenty of teeth, and I'm talking way more teeth than you need, there is something I am going to recommend. Now, we don't always discuss everything in open games, but I will recommend this. You can go over here to this mysterious rogue, and you can go to buy sell, and you can buy these little gold chests. Now, when you buy these, they typically will have helm materials or pieces of 8. Now, that's stuff that you're going to be able to use at any time in the game, so I would buy up what you can of that. Make sure you got some spare teeth as well. Now, that's with the red ash from the man Godin, and then, of course, Lenitra, he sells those gold boxes for the teeth above. If you've ever bought them in the past, all you get is pieces of 8 and helm materials, raw helm materials that you can convert over. So definitely make sure that you're doing that in the game, guys. I would highly recommend. Do not stop focusing on those types of contents. You will be able to come back into Rama and over to Skurlock and buy these upgrade parts. And assuming that they don't have other stuff to buy, I'm sure there will be as well. So looking very, very forward to all of that, man. So our weapons, now there's a lot of variant weapons coming out. So we have the let's bring this up so I can see this a little closer. The Foul Isle, that is going to be the new demi cannon that is coming out. Now, what makes it so special? Well, it's a shrapnel fired from the weapon. It ricochets to nearby targets on impact, bringing with it 75% of the original damage dealt to the secondary hit. So if you're right up next to a ship and you hit it and it ricochets to other ships within that blast radius, it's going to send like just tremendous amounts of damage to ships around you. So that's going to be really cool. Now, that kind of is basically like a blaze effect a little bit. Hopefully a little bit better. We're going to see how that works out with it, obviously. Then, of course, we have the War Hammer. That is going to be a spring loader type of weapon. It's going to have where you can use the launch sea fire mines that deal fire damage to enemy ships, destroys torpedoes that collide into the minefield. These buoys are known to carry volatile sea fire that erupts when destroyed, dealing 300% more damage. That's going to be available from Smuggler's Pass. That means you're going to earn that by going into the pass, folks, right here. You're going to have to go just as we did before, running through the rewards and stuff. So we'll have to check what the rules are and all coming into the new pass. I'm sure they're not going to change much. I'd be surprised if we've seen any changes at all, honestly. But we'll have to look and see. Of course, then you're going to have a seasonal main contract called the Curtain Call, which is where you're going to get Little Grace. It launches floating buoys that repair and restore the integrity of damaged hulls and masts. That's going to be great for us who get our mast hammered. If we're coming up on somebody that got some stuff, we could be dropping them spring loads in our track. So even though they take the mast out, we're hitting it and repairing as we come through. That's going to give us some advantage for those of us who want to get up close with the sandbuck type deal using demis. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. It's going to be awesome either way, though. I'm looking forward to the ship builds that people are going to be putting out with this stuff, man. Of course, then you're going to have a new rocket variant. The rocket variant is called the Warhammer. It fires a volley of 10 heavy explosive rockets from above. That's available in the black market. So it is called the Little Grace. And then, of course, you have the Infernal Maul, which are going to be the spring loaders. And then the Warhammer. I want to get that, make sure I get that corrected. The Warhammer fires to 10 heavy explosive rockets from above, so that's going to be great. Now, I imagine that's probably going to do massive damage to forts. It may do massive damage to ships, so that's going to be pretty cool just to see how it works out for everybody. The torpedo variant of Endless Requiem. That is what I'm looking at, wanting to really get my hands on. A highly advanced torpedo with a target-seeking ability. You may be wondering, well, how does that work? Well, when you launch torpedoes, you're going to be using your sight, and you keep it marked on the ship you're trying to hit, and that torpedo is going to continue to follow him until it either runs out of steam or he runs out of range and he's out of the area. So that's going to be a really great aspect in this game. As to how sharp they turn, we're going to have to wait and find out on that, guys. It's going to be awesome. Then, of course, the long gun variant, the Le Picre, is a malicious weapon wielded by Le Peste cronies, is what it says. It fires tainted shells that drains the crew stamina and adds 20% damage that cannot be blocked. So this is going to be a gun that doesn't matter what they're doing, bracing, whatever, they're not going to be able to block the damage. We're going to drop the stamina. We're going to do some damage, man. That's going to be awesome to have that, man. I know that's one of the things we all have looked at. It's like, wow, they're kind of bracing through a lot of this stuff. Now, we may see more furnitures come in that allow bracing and negate some of that stuff. We'll just have to wait and see. But the spring loader, that is going to be an awesome weapon. Being able to send those minefields out, and it's going to fit on the auxiliary slot. Sounds like there includes operation range, operation time, buoy health, the numbers of buoys. So you're going to be able to upgrade some of those stats as you go from tier 1 to tier 3. As you're going to be opening those up in the past or potentially inside the market. My guess is it's going to be just like with the black market. You'll have a 2 that you can buy, or you may end up having a print that you can buy with sovereigns to build those. So as to what materials it's going to require to build them, they did not say. They have kept it kind of tight-lipped, but I'm excited. This is going to be pretty awesome here. So, okay, we have gone over the new ship. We have gone over some of the weapons. We've talked about some of the armor. Now, some of the things that you're really going to have to watch out for here, folks, is you're going to have manufacturer buyout. That means with certain materials, my understanding of how this is going to work, what they're describing is just as you have your hostile takeovers pop up, you're going to have buyouts take place. And the area you're going to go to first will be to some sort of a corrupt captain of the campaign or whomever it is in that season. So like Command Grove, you would go in and you'd talk to this guy, and he'd tell you what type of materials to bring, and you'd have to go out and he'd have it marked on the map. You go grab those materials. If you already have them in your inventory, then you just hand them over and you get the new lease. Now, is that going to happen for every location? There's certain locations that haven't said, but it sounds like you can pick up a lot of locations using that new lease as well. So definitely looking forward to that. That's going to help us coming in for those who have completed territories. For those who are wondering what the territories, if you look at the overview on the left-hand side screen, it says we have 6 of 18 territories. Each of these little notches where they kind of cut this out like a pie, these are considered territories, and you're going to get a lease for each of those completed up to 18. So if you have all territories, guess what? You're going to be able to come in here and pretty much get most of the Red Isle right off the bat. You don't have to fight for it. So that's going to help people out on both sides. Those are the lower players that don't have a lot. People like me who's like, well, I'm just not going to get them. We'll get 6 for what we've got here. So that's going to get me 6. I can come in and find my 6 top payers, get those started off. There's going to be areas that people are grabbing that my guess is they're probably going to be the higher paying areas like up here. Or some of these down in here that pay over 200 pieces of 8 for each collection. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's going to spread the players out a little bit where you don't have everybody competing for the same stuff. So they've done a good job with that. I know that was one of the things a lot of people talked about in Season 1. It seemed like they couldn't get their stuff because everybody was trying to get it. So they waited to the midpoint of the season, almost toward the end of the season, when they've missed out on all those 8. So you got to stay competitive. You got to keep farming. You got to keep hitting that stuff. But you also have this new view here that you're going to be able to do. So that's going to be pretty cool. Definitely looking forward to that. It's also going to bring in so that you can remove the ships you don't want. Now, manufacturing defense. When you have a factory, you can be coming in. Don't worry, when you're offline, it will not go into a defense mode. But while you're out sailing around, you may get a pop-up queue. It'll pop up on the right-hand side that says, you have a manufactory under attack. Do you wish to defend? At which point you have so much time to get down there to defend it. So I'm guessing that's why they've made it so we can fast travel using 8. So we're not tied up picking 8's going, well, crap, So we're going to be able to get over there pretty quick and defend it. You're going to have 4 waves of enemies come in, each progressively getting harder with the... now, take that back. They've just updated. It says there will now be 5 waves of enemies. It was 4 just a few days ago. So now we're looking at 5 waves with each increasing in difficulty. That's going to be awesome. Now, they're going to have these defense rewards. If your manufacturing is not destroyed, okay, meaning that you have above 0% on HP, the manufacturing, if it was funded while receiving the rewards, you're going to get manufacturing boost of 5,000 silver and a gold raiders cash. If it was not funded when it went, you're going to get the 8,000 silver and a 1 raider cash. Now, what's the difference there? Obviously, you're getting that manufacturing boost, a supply boost. You know how we used to bring the helm materials over to booster factories? You'll get that automatically for a successful defense if you keep them funded. So you will want to keep them funded in Season 2 for sure on that stuff, guys. Pretty awesome. Now, the Gold Raiders cache contains silver, pieces of 8, enhanced repair kits, helm materials, chances of some refined helm wares, and a chance to obtain a world helm lease as well. So defending could earn you a lease from what it sounds like, guys. My guess is those boxes, much like the boxes now, if you open it, you have a 0.01% chance of actually getting a cosmetic piece. If you give it to a friend, that chance goes up to around 20 or 30% on the other gold chest. I'm wondering if it's going to work on this. So this could be something where we come in and we trade our chest out with people to get that kind of stuff going. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Or you might not be able to trade it. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. That is going to be pretty awesome. So you only will get the option to come in and defend if you have at least 5 manufactories. Okay? And it says that your max downtime for a factory, so if you have a level 10 factory that gets attacked, you don't have to worry about coming under attack again for 14 hours. Now, if it gets destroyed, you're going to have to wait 14 hours before it starts to build anything. So either way, you're going to protected status for 14 hours. Either you're producing or you're not producing, so always defend. That's going to be pretty awesome on there. It says that they do recommend when you do silent death. Now, what is silent death? Well, silent death is what the contract is going to be called for hunting down the megalostory, from what it sounds like. It says you don't want to be messing with it unless you have a ship rank of at least 13. Now, when you go up to the vanishing, that's going to be up top, Lenitra, where you're going to come in and get the contract to go hunt that. You can be looking at some different types of rewards on there. Silver, special dishes, and fireworks. So it sounds like there's going to be some cosmetic pieces to go with that. Now, of course, you can get the Legend of Lestari vanity set, then the Lestari Hunter vanity set by completing the actual main bounties. That's going to be located at St. Anne and the other area, just like with Zamaharabu. Everybody got the red and white phased kind of outfits and stuff. It's going to be something like that for that in here too. So that's going to be pretty cool. Ship upgrades. This, I think, is the most important part. So ship upgrades, the way this is going to work. We bring this and enlarge this. I'm getting older, so the eyes don't quite work like they used to. But it looks like every ship is going to be given where you can bring it up 6 ranks. Now, with that said, every ship except the Dow, every ship in the game, with exception to the Dow, can be brought up to the rank of 13 at least. So it says 13. Obtainable on small and medium ships except Dow. So that's going to be pretty cool. So then you're going to have access to 6 tiers of upgrades with that as well. And these are going to improve perks such as additional furniture slots, enhanced ship holes, cargo space, speed, ship ranking, score. Small ships are brought up to par with medium ships through these upgrades and gain access to it gains access to weapon slots previously unavailable on only available on the medium ship. So if you're using, like, I know a lot of us are hoping to bring some of these smaller ships back into the game, like sloops and stuff like that. So you're going to be able to bring those up. You're going to be able to put more weapons on them. So that's going to be really awesome, I think so. Then you're going to be able to upgrade 3 of 6. Medium ships are going to gain a new perk called Deep Blue that increases maneuverability when traversing the seas. Meaning if you're out in the open seas, it's going to give you more maneuverability on that. At upgrade 4 of 6, small ships gain a new perk called River Rat that increases the speed and maneuverability when traversing the rivers. So all these little tributaries and stuff, you're going to be able to go faster and be more maneuverable using those smaller ships there. Sounds like they're getting a setup for a release of large ships later is what it sounds to me like, guys. That sounds pretty cool. A fully upgraded ship will unlock new, unique ship perks that provide additional bonuses for each ship. So what will it be for the better? At level 6, ramming a target reduces the armor rating by 150 for 30 seconds and increases your own weapon damage by 10%. That sounds cool. The ships I really want to look at is the barge. So it's going to apply torn cell status effect when hitting a target with a blaze. So not only are you setting them on fire, you're going to be coming in there and you're going to be ripping their sails and stuff. So that's going to be awesome. Of course, the sloops, explosive damage hit decreases enemy weapon damage by 10%. So if you're hitting it with the explosive weapons, you're decreasing the amount of damage they're able to send back. So that's going to be pretty cool. Padawakan at half sail or anchored increases weapon damage by 20%. And decreases the reload time by 20% for explosive weapons. So we're going to be seeing the Padawakan coming back in strong, man. I know that was one of our big ships that we used to really love using them fire bombards on. Well, they are going to make her even better. Our Snow is going to do after bracing, increases weapons damage by 20% for 20 seconds. That's on the snow. Brigantine, when moving at 14 knots and above, increased ram damage by 30%. So it sounds like the Brigantine is really getting some extra strength to her too on that. The Sandbuck decreases fire weapon reload time by 25%. So if you're using those demi cannons, it's called a firebug perk. You're getting a reduced reload time as well as those other perks that we've seen that you're opening up. That's going to be really awesome. The bark is going to increase the repair amount of weapons by 40% on the weapons, and for ships with less than 33% hull health. So 40% increase if you're repairing someone that's at 33% or less. And the Brig, fully uploaded, is going to have deployed buoys last longer. Now, they've not said exactly how long the buoys will last, but they do have a time limit on how long they last, and you're going to be able to bring that up where you can get that a little bit higher up there. So these are some pretty cool things, guys, and we're going to post a bunch of these screenshots so you can see what it is they're saying in there. I know a lot of folks want to hear about it. Then we can post it up. They can check it out. Most people don't feel like reading all these patch notes, so we're going to give you both options here, everybody. So don't worry about that. So, of course, you can sell ships. I think we've mentioned that a few times. So you're going to get the Gilded Sin Captain Vanity set if you've reached Diamond Tier as soon as Season 2 releases, which will be the 28th of May. Yep, that's what it's saying. So we're going to get that. Plus, we're also going to get a Sovereign nameplate that we can open up if we want to. I don't really... If we could change the names on the nameplate, I could see spinning the Sovereigns. But everyone's buying the same nameplate with the exact same name on it. That's, to me, needs to be looked into a little bit. I think it should be anyway. So you can view your collection of pets in the Helm office. I'm not real big on pets, but hey, that works. Now, if they start bringing stats to where each pet will give you a different stat in the ship like it was back in the old closed betas, man, you talking. I would love that. I would love to see that happen. So the changing to the ship rank damage modifiers will now be less significant once you are of a higher ship rank. The first band starts at ship rank 8 when both entities are above. The second band starts at ship rank 11. So they're going to be bringing tiers to your ships now, is what it sounds like. So for player ships going against AI, those of you who don't care about PvP, you're going against the AI NPC ships, there's no changes coming from ranks 1 through 7. Now, once you get a ship up from 8 to 10 versus AI, it says you're going to see no change in damage taken versus the AI, no change to damage dealt versus the AI, 2 to 4 increased damage taken on the for towers and stuff. So this is a lot of technical stuff, but it looks like there's going to be some small changes and then some increased damage you're going to be able to deal out, obviously, against AI ships and stuff. So doesn't sound like those single players that are mostly playing it for the fun of going around and shooting pirate ships and stuff, guys. You are not going to be seeing all those increases and buffs on these enemy ships the way we have in the past. So that's going to be nice for those guys. There's going to be some sort of a PvP server events and then PvE server events coming into the game. They've not really went into discussing what all of that is going to look like. But your Smuggler Pass items that you're going to open up in the pass is Rhapsody of the Deep, the Infernal Maul, something called the Buoy Locker. You're going to get the Machinist Station and, of course, the Raised Quarterdeck. That's going to be coming from Season 2 rewards and Smuggler Pass. Now, Black Market Sovereigns, when you're coming in, we're going to be able to bring 300,000 eighths over. We're going to be able to use our Sovereigns because we get to keep that. You're going to be able to get the Stormwoven Sympathy. You're going to get the Buccaneer's Oath armors. And then the Foul Isle Demi Cannons. The Warhammer, which is that rocket set we were talking about. The Endless Requiem, which is that new tracking torpedo we talked about. The Little Grace, which is the repair spring loader. You're going to get something called a Sausage Station. I'm guessing that has to do with food. It's probably something you could add spices to it. you know, those commodities that we've just basically been selling, I guess you're going to be able to really kind of craft your own food. So we're headed away. We're going to be able to craft those things a little further. That's going to be awesome. You're going to get something called this practice spring loader. You're going to get a Fatana station. Again, doesn't say what it does, but we're getting it. And that's going to be in the black market sovereigns as soon as the pass releases. For those of you, if you look here, we've got up to, I think we've got 5,380 sovereigns set back that we've been able to manage. I don't imagine I'm going to hit more than maybe 30 more. Last week it seemed like it dropped it down to 30, so we'll see. And then I noticed this week we was at 230 for the first collection, so that they've been bringing these things, the levels down as we get closer to the end. So Pirate Legends, you may be wondering, what is Pirate Legends? How do we open that stuff up? That is going to be fighting the bosses. These are rare items that can drop. Now they may end up, as we've seen with some of this stuff, coming into the black market later for sovereigns, but you're looking at the machinist station for your mines. Okay, that's different than the other machinist station, but this will be for the mines. You're looking at the campaigny screens. Those are going to be some epic armor pieces that hang onto the side of your boat. If you've ever seen the campaigny, they have those little, you know, iron plates hanging on the side on top of the armor. You're going to be able to open some of those. The campaigny spirits locker, so it's probably going to have something to do with stamina, I'm sure. You're going to get the Hubok tuning rack. Don't know what that's going to be. Obviously looks like some sort of a weapon station though. And then the Endless Requiem. That's going to be cool. So it looks like Endless Requiem is going to be able to be purchased black market sovereigns, and it's going to be something that you can earn into Pirate Legend events. Then of course you're going to get world events. Now what are world events? We've seen world events. We know what those are, don't we guys? These are these little blue tabs that pop up on the oceans running these little coastlines. They've got some great gear coming out of that. No longer is it just going to be whether or not you get some campaign royal armor. You're going to get the boatswain toll. You're going to get the Lamari Makana. It's a Rempa merchant convoy. The Fur merchant convoy is where you get the boatswain's toll. The Kinkles Minasari is DMC merchant convoys. The Bombard Minasari is going to be campaign royal merchant convoy. The Brower's Powder House is going to be elite warship drops. So watching for those elite warships to come in, guys. We want to make sure we hit those so we can get all of this stuff. And of course the Scrapper Station is going to be elite warship drops. I know in the past we've only been able to purchase it in the black market from what it seemed like. So you're going to be able to earn those as well. You're going to be looking at limited offers. Okay, so Kingpin, you need to be Kingpin. You're going to have to hit the Kingpin Megalodon to earn the stuff to get the Leviathan armor. This is stuff that's going to drop. I imagine you're going to be able to get the blueprint on that too, just as you were able to with the Ouroboros. So you're looking at a smuggling compartment for the Summer Fiesta event. You're looking at a leather fashioning station, again, Summer Fiesta. Medicine cabinet, that'll be something that you fight against La Peste. So he's coming back in, guys. That's, you know, we post up if you're in our Discord and want to see it. We can post a picture up how he made it after you supposed to cut his head off and all that. So we got a nice little image that we've kind of been passing around in there. So we're not going to post it up here. It's not safe for work, folks. So then of course you're looking at the Le Picre, which is the La Peste long gun. Then the Leviathan, again, that's going to come from the Kingpin Megalodon. The Lestari Trophy is a Kingpin Megalodon. It looks like a giant shark's tooth. Then the Organ Harvesting Station. Kingpin Talasaurus is where you're going to get that. So Zama Harabu will be returning with a furniture station called the Organ Harvesting Station. And then, of course, the Cursed Banner, which will be on the Kingpin Ghost Ship. If you're wondering who that is, that's Roadman Godin, folks. So it will be making its way back into the event. This is just awesome. We're going to make sure that you watch to the end of the video. We're going to post up all these screenshots and stuff we discussed. Now, when it starts getting to the technical data and stuff, that's going to have to be another video because it is going to take a long time to break that down. So I think it's going to be easier to show you in-game at that time what it's doing versus, just looking at numbers. To me, looking at numbers gets boring, but I hope you've enjoyed the video, folks. Hit that subscription button if you would. That helps us out here to get those subscribers. And like I say, watch through the end of the video. We always have little helpful tips and hints in there as well. And man, hit that notification bell to stay up to date, because as soon as this releases, folks, I have been known to go on 3-day binges, just farming. So this season, my intent is when I'm on at night and I'm farming this stuff out. Now I don't stream as much during the day. The reason why I've so many air conditions running, fans running and stuff, it has a tendency to mess up the microphone. I've heard some comments on, the sound and stuff like that, and that is what's happening with that, but you have to keep it cool in the house. But I'll be live streaming events, and we're going to be bringing out new videos as well. So if you're wanting to sell with us, man, ask for Discord. We're going to get you in. You're going to be able to jump in. You might even see your ship in some of the videos, guys. I know we're always pulling together big groups. Even if it only takes 2 or 3 guys, we'll attack it with a whole server and just farm through the content. And that's what we're looking at starting at opening day of Season 2, hitting this thing hard, grabbing anything and everything we absolutely can grab. So we're going to catch each of you later. Have a wonderful day. And again, thanks for watching Banished Souls. I need to get my glasses on so I can see the screen on where to end the video. Here we go, guys.